fast they won't see me coming.
Hey Spotifyers.
They won't see me coming. They won't see me coming.
Unlock real progress.
We need to own this now. We need to make this out. We need to move this crowd. We need to shout this loud, loud.
That's the refreshing secret.
We got the real thing, you wanna still thing, nothing but a straight thing. This is a new thing. This is a new thing.
Maybelline is throwing the music gig of the year, and you're invited.
This is a new thing.
Inspire the crowds instead of being in the crowd. The Adidas superstar.
I'm a trendsetter, gonna go get it.
Tap the banner. Tap the banner.
Tap the banner to listen now.
Anyway, anywhere, making this better.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, knowing that we have people from all over the globe tuning in today. My name is Karl. I'm the North America Director for Emerging and Scaled here at Spotify. I'm joined by none other than one of our most loyal partners, Kyle Hardy, who is the Media Director over at Allied Global Marketing. Today, we're going to be discussing why Spotify advertising and give you, our listeners, a sense of performance on our platform, no matter the size or the objective of your campaigns. We want you walking away feeling empowered, knowing that you can not only achieve, but as we like to say here, exceed your campaign performances with Spotify advertising. Kyle, I think it's only fair that we let the audience in a little bit and try to get them to know us a little better. So what better way than sharing what we're currently streaming on Spotify?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Kyle from Allied Global Marketing. But yeah, I mean, two answers to this question quickly. One is song-wise, Tame Impala, End of Summer. Very fun, interesting track to listen to. Just great production. And then full body of work, Tate McRae, So Close to What? Pop star realness. If you go to the gym, turn it on, it will change your life.
I love that. Where are you from?
Connecticut, but I've actually been in Brooklyn, New York now for 10 years.
We go hard, black on black. I live in Brooklyn too. I'm bumping Jay-Z, so we're friends now. I love it. All right, now that we have that out of the way and the audience knows us a little better, how about we dive deeper into our partnership?
100%.
Awesome. So Allied is an agency well known in entertainment, culture, and the live event space. Can you tell us a bit more about the types of clients that you work with and the types of challenges you're looking to solve for them?
Absolutely. So yeah, Allied is well known for our work in the entertainment space, driving culture, things along those lines. And all of our clients we see as this thing we called LBE, so location-based entertainment. And this is based off of, we have touring shows, we have venues that host these shows, we have race courses, we have casinos, all along the line of, entertainment that wants to reach people locally, nationally, tourists, all of that. They all have that in common. And the other thing that they have in common, which is what we help them with all the time, is reaching these audiences and getting these audiences through their doors, getting these audiences buying tickets. That is what we strive and aim to do across our full service suite, particularly in digital media space, reaching their audiences for these brands through things like Spotify. And again, it's really kind of that DR focus of direct response.
I love that. I mean, you're saying a lot of things right now. I'm getting excited. So we'll just keep going here with the second question, kind of like tying into the first one I've asked here. So a lot of the clients that you work with typically focus on touring shows, local venues. Driving localized ticket sales is a key priority, you guys. How has your use of Ads Manager geo-targeting capabilities helped you solve those issues for them?
Absolutely. So we kind of view it in like a two-layer approach. The first is that geo layer, which is very minute as like zip codes. So we do a lot of mailer work, and the nice thing about Spotify Ads Manager is that their zip code tool allows us to upload a lot of those things that we're doing in the mailing side, our traditional side, and kind of make sure that we're also reaching these people through Spotify Ads Manager. So it can be as exact as that. We also run a lot of DMA targeting if they're based in an area that has a good DMA to target. Radius targeting as well. A lot of our clients know within 30 or 50 miles of their venues, are these people driving in? Are they commuting into these kinds of shows? That is again kind of like that first layer. And then we'll sprinkle in a little bit of that tourist targeting. So if they know that people from the West Coast tend to visit from certain cities or the East Coast, and they come come in for these shows and things, that is another thing that we'll do. That is, again, that first layer. That second layer, which is where we tweak it depending on if it's a local audience versus international versus tourists, is that interest targeting, that affinity targeting. So we're talking like genres. We got jazz, Broadway, holiday sometimes once in a while. And then of course we have that kind of interest targeting of like people who are into pop culture, even going as far as people who are into corporate podcasts and things along those lines. That flexibility across the geo and what we're able to layer on top of that really brings it all together to help our brands reach these audiences and ideally, have them aware, consider, and convert.
I don't sleep on corporate podcasts. I love it. So I heard I got the little nudge there. Going into this, as you mentioned here, I'm hearing targeting. A major thing with Spotify, naturally being one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world, is the immense amount of data that we have across users or streaming intelligence. And the value for advertisers is we make that available to you at scale, right? So you mentioned, for instance, localized ticket sales or geo-targeting capabilities. Me as an example, right? Love Jay-Z, as we know. I live in New York. I think the value of Spotify is being able to say, hey, I want to go into platform and actually target fans of Jay-Z, right? And knowing exactly that Spotify knows who I am, how I stream, where I stream, what platform I stream on. All this ties into one, targeting, but also ties into performance, right? Making sure that you're stretching your media dollars further by not spraying and praying, but reaching the right user at the right time in the right moment and naturally serving in an ad when they're most engaged. Right?
Exactly.
Awesome. So, switching gears here and focusing more on something that, I love, which is multi-format. In a previous module, we talked about the power of multi-format strategy. In our conversation, we learned that Allied has been, has seen a significant shift into, your media spend, moving away from the standard heavy audio to more of a video audio split and to a much more balanced mix. Mm-hmm. What drove that change, and what kind of results, are you been seeing, making a shift into a more multi-format strategy?
Yeah, I would say the first crack in that was definitely display. So a lot of our clients always have display assets made for other platforms, things along those lines, and being able to now slot a one-by-one into Spotify has been a huge unlock for them. Not only because it's a simple asset for them to develop and put in there, it is also, something very premium on your guys' platform. It's as far as like the homepage, the Discover page, it's on the Now Playing page, things along those lines. And that was huge because, some of our clients were like, yeah, Spotify, we don't have audio, but now that we can just slot display, and we're like, there's kind of no excuse at that point. That is one, and then video, of course, too, that you guys are able to take on that widescreen video, which is always being produced otherwise, and that is, again, something that's easy to slot in there. And so this is one of our advertiser kind of buckets that we're able to crack that dam into, where then they launch with these things, and then we're actually able to, sell them on the fact that you guys produce audio for free. So then we're able to, launch display video, have that audio produced while this display and video is running, and then layer it in at a later fact to really hit that full multi-layer situation there. And you asked for an example of an advertiser that did this. We had one who is a perfect fit for Spotify. They're very, think sports, live entertainment kind of thing, and that is a huge audience on Spotify. And they typically run only paid social and radio. Obviously with the radio part, we all know here is that Spotify and radio sometimes viewed as the same thing. They are not. And we were able to kind of, present to them that, hey, Spotify is more than audio now. Would you guys like to try display since we have all these assets already made? And they're great display assets too, so it was a perfect match. And it ended up being this great synergy in the sense of, launching the display, launching the video, and even this radio spot, but also having the Spotify produced spot layered in after the fact to even A/B test radio versus Spotify, and of course see these first results for display and video, all came together to really just sell the fact that for future activations with this particular client, Spotify is just simply a no-brainer because of all of that we can do there now.
Listen, multi-format is king, right? I've been at Spotify for 6 great years, and we've seen a huge shift, going from standard audio-only campaigns into more of evolving into, as you mentioned earlier, audio plus, right? The most successful campaigns across Spotify are campaigns stepping into audio, podcast, video, display, the whole nine, increasing not just share of voice, but increasing performance. And tying that back into what I said earlier, we know exactly how you stream, when you stream it, what you're kind of listening to, right? So when you most engage, that's when you're gonna get potentially a video ad, because we know that you have your phone in hand, for instance, or when you're running to the subway or jogging, then you get an audio ad. Both are performant, but like having a multi-format approach allows us to see like 10 to 15x at times the performance of having only one specific format running.
Exactly.
Awesome. Let's look deeper into performance and measurement, right? Let's talk about the fact that you are a power user of the Spotify Pixel. I think 50% of your campaigns, use our Pixel for measuring success. Can you speak more about the measurement and optimizations that you're seeing on Spotify and how that's driving success for your campaigns?
Absolutely. So I had mentioned a little bit earlier, all of our clients come to us for, that direct response element that we're able to offer them. And that key unlock for the digital space on our agency is, of course, pixels. So we were very excited when the pixel became a thing. And even when it was just a simple base code that, was a page view and let us optimize a little bit more towards clicks, that was still a huge unlock for us because that is kind of the main second step for a lot of our clients of beyond an awareness partner. And we were very excited to adopt it because some of our clients, to be fair, only wanted the base pixel, which is kind of that base layer like page view data. Some of them allowed us to put the Spotify pixel across the full funnel, which we were doing with other vendors, and we were happy to kind of make that one-to-one parity across our different tactics too. And that is as simple as, the view content, someone adding it to cart, and then someone making an actual purchase, sometimes even, lifetime value and retention marketing as well. That all has really just helped our clients across the board understand the value of the advertising because, again, we're able to see things with other measurement partners where it's like awareness or back-end sales lift, things along those lines. The Spotify Pixel not only helps hands-on keyboard people present this information to our clients of like, well, Spotify is actually driving more add to carts than you may think. May not be the purchases that we're 100% looking for across all tactics. We know not to expect that from all tactics, but we can see where it's kind of moving that needle. And that's really helped us unlock that across all of our clients there too.
I love that. And speaking about pixel and performance, I think Spotify is now competing not just for awareness campaigns. I think we're seeing most of our partners tap into objective-based buying across app installs or goal-based bidding, and we're seeing performance at times better than the traditional medias that typically partners. Obviously, Ally is one of those power users there. Actually, you are seeing that performance increase within the Spotify framework, right? So I'm not going to go down memory lane here. We'd love to kind of have the audience get a taste of the success that you guys are seeing. So if you wouldn't mind sharing, what's the secret sauce of Ally Global Marketing at Spotify so they can maybe go out there and copy and paste what you guys are doing on their end?
Absolutely. I said it once, I'll say it again, it's pixels. Again, they are just a key part of that data signal, that data stream for Spotify Ads Manager. And, like I said, it can be as big as setting it up throughout the entire e-com funnel of what you're purchasing. It can be as simple as just putting the base pixel on there. It is not only a key thing for advertisers to understand the impact of the ads, it's also a key thing for the platform. They get a lot of signal from it, the machine learning, the algorithms, the black box of it all, that really learns from just having a simple pixel signal from that post-click moment. You'll see it in your CTRs, you'll see it in your landing page views, whatever it is that you're trying to drive there. It's just a very key part of the signal and something that I cannot recommend enough getting in place. If you had it set up for other tactics, you can set it up for Spotify as well.
Well, you heard it from Kyle, pixels and performance on Spotify. All right, Kyle, now to wrap things up, I think we started with what you're currently listening to on Spotify. Mm-hmm. So take us out with what you're looking forward to the most. What new releases and you've released on Spotify you're looking forward to the most?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Q4 is right around the corner. Can be a stressful time, but I think we're all going to be levied by the fact that we've got a big October in front of us. You've got the beginning of October, Taylor Swift, Life of a Showgirl. You've got mid-October, Tame Impala. And then you've got ending of October, you've got Florence and the Machine. So I will say those are 3 albums that I'm very, very excited for.
Well, we'll love that. I don't think you're getting paid for this, right?
I am not.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Kyle. We appreciate you being here. And I'll throw it back to Mina over in the studio.
Thank you.